All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL's Pro League coverage of Season 3. My name is Mega Man. Joining me tonight is going to be the one and only Moses, and we've got ourselves a hell of a night for you. Moses, why don't you tell them about it?
Obviously it's the debut of simple, which has been long awaited ever since he was announced as the new fifth. He just came over last week, I believe. So that's kind of the big thing is how is he going to fit into this lineup? That addition kind of propels them to, in most people's minds, the best team in North America, just with how good of a player he is individually. So it'll be cool to see how he's going to interact this early on in his addition to the team. What kind of a role they have him playing, how he's going to change the way that they play certain maps and everything like that.
Yeah, exactly. And tonight we're actually starting off on pretty much the North American favorite map in Cache. So we'll get to see how they've kind of adapted him into their lineup and how they're going to utilize him on what is considered to be one of North America's default choices when it comes to maps, and a map that Liquid in the past has been pretty strong on individually as well, with the entry fragging from Elysian Nitro.
Yeah, I mean that's the key because it's Liquid's pretty much favorite map. But this is a map they always kind of go to in their best of threes, even against European opponents. They've had really good showings on it. So he's going to be coming into a map that they already have established, and maybe just trying to fit right in with what they're working on. I'm more interested to see him on the next map because I think Cache, either way, even without simple, I think this would be a pretty solid win for Liquid. The other story too, while we focus on simple and Liquid, is Death coming from the UK. He's going to be playing with compLexity. He's a guy that from what I've heard, we really don't know too much about any of the players in the UK scene or coming from the UK scene, but from what I've been told, just one of those players, much like North Americans, who's considered highly skilled. Not a whole lot of events for them to go to, but he's had very strong results online. And I think a lot of people have mentioned, just watching him in things like FPL, that he has been just a very, very talented individual.
Yeah, and actually, you started to talk a little bit about, Liquid pretty much expected to take Cache. The second map that we're going to see actually between compLexity and Liquid is going to be on Dust 2, which is going to favor, really, I don't think it favors either team hand over foot, regardless of who it is, but it's going to give at least a little bit more of an inclination as to how simple is going to play. I expect to see a lot of, at least whenever I see him playing like FPL or see him playing 10-mans or anything like that, I tune into his stream every once in a while. He seems to be a predominant catwalk player, especially with the AWP and getting very aggressive in that area. So I expect to see that on Dust too. What do you think, Moses?
Yeah, I think here's the thing too we just forgot about is that this is also Fraud's, first game back.
Yeah.
So we have the legend, the old. A lot of the newer viewers might not know.
Battle.
Yeah, a lot of the newer people might not know. Fraud was like one of the legendary oppers in 1.6. Definitely considered one of the best North American players of all time in previous versions of Counter-Strike. Former teammate of mine as well. Good guy, but he just recently, a couple months ago, gave up his full-time job, came back to Counter-Strike, so he's going to try. compLexity is the team that he made his name in as well. That was the franchise he started out in 1.6, so there's some pretty cool storylines here among both these teams that we can keep track of throughout the season.
Yeah, and again, you're talking about the new acquisitions. Obviously, Fraud coming back. compLexity just recently added Shinobi. Obviously, Death coming in from the UK. Really, really good stuff across the board from compLexity, and hopefully they can get it all going. We just finished up the knife round, so we should be swapping over. I believe we are in game now because we are going live into the pistol round. compLexity is going to be starting on the CT side, and Liquid going to be on the terrorist side. And I think this is actually more dangerous for compLexity given the tools that Liquid has to be a nuisance on this T side.
A lot of teams recently starting out, especially on a map like Cache, on T side, or especially Cache, not maps like Cache, but on this map, teams in North America choosing to start out on this T side, thinking that it's starting to swing a little bit more that way, and give them advantage going into the second half. So that's a pretty cool, interesting change. Last night, I know the team that won the knife round chose the T side, so Yeah, this is gonna be cool to watch. It's gonna be really difficult, I think. Farad's gonna have a big role to play with that AWP to get some opening picks. The other guy on this team is Roka, obviously the heavy hitter. I know there's some people that are pretty high on him as one of the players who could emerge as a star in the North American scene this year. So interested to see if he can take some steps forward.
Well, pistol round is now behind us. The team ace from compLexity, 2 kills on the board from simple to get things rocking and rolling. But compLexity do pick up that pistol round. A couple of things that I saw was they actually got in towards the checker side. Actually, Nitro just got obliterated out mid, just taking a quick peek towards Catbox. But nevertheless, in that pistol round, they actually got in towards the checkered hallways in the backside of that B bomb site and actually reverse boosted simple up. Was able to find a frag, but I think his teammate actually did about 30 or 40 points of damage, also trying to help him get that kill, so that kind of hurt a little bit. But nevertheless, compLexity coming out on top early on in this matchup and looking to at least extend that lead a little bit here, but Liquid gearing up for this A hit, so we'll see what happens as they go into these anti-eco rounds. And look at how aggressive compLexity actually is. Sanks is pushed up by lockers in A main.
It's not too bad. He's going to have the big thing is Fraud's playing with his eyes on mid from the A bomb site, so Simple's been given a lot of room to work with. You can see what his Deagle's been able to do in the past, and he's going to start getting close up this highway, so compLexity, Simple can just find one shot and open things up for his team. That's going to be a very dangerous spot for them to be in.
Yeah, and he is just creeping up right now. He sees the flashbang go out, so he knows that there's one in sight. He's going to take the shots, but it was down ultimately to Fraud, and Shinobi actually coming out through the Z hallway is going to find one, but there it is. They didn't account for Sanks to be there in A main. He's going to be able to clean up too, but this is a much closer round than I would have thought, and if Elige gets this bomb plant, just barely doesn't get it, Shinobi's going to finish him off, but if he would have been able to get that, that would have been a really nice round from Liquid.
Yeah, well, it's still a pretty nice round with 3 kills even without that, so they forced some rebuys on that more expensive side in terms of your economy, so compLexity 2-0 now, and this time it's not going to be a buy, like you said, without that bomb plant. Simple had plenty of money. He was at 3,300 coming into this round. That's kind of what I'm curious. I mean, you got to assume that he's going to be the primary opper for this team coming in.
Yeah, I mean, you would assume. But again, we're going to get back into the action here, and it looks like Def and Sank's going to be able to lock things down. Again, they dropped the bomb over there by that A-bomb site. One by Squeaky, that's going to be Nitro, but again, Sank's just playing up in lockers, cleaning house right now. Liquid, Nitro, pardon me, yeah, Nitro and Hiko going to be your last 2 alive, but Sanks and Shinobi finish that off. This time a little bit more according to plan for the compLexity side, only losing 1 player. But Sanks, he's off and rolling already. He's 6-1, 4-0 for Shinobi, so the new acquisition at least putting in a little bit of work at the early stages of this matchup.
And there it is, Simple with the AWP. No armor on the board for him, though. So he's going to have to be very, very careful. And look at this, a lot of utility on the CT side, a lot of smokes, 4 Molotovs coming into this round, so they're going to block off the boost, at least initially. But it is going to get smoked by Liquid, and they're going to come out quickly. Hiko with the entry. That's a good find. Fraud responds, but the defense is forced back. All 3 members of compLexity now towards the A bomb site. Only 1 member left in B. That's Roka.
Yeah, so 1-for-1 trade to start things off. Fraud down to 11 HP, and again, he doesn't actually have the AWP. He's hanging onto that M4 that he's had the last couple of rounds, so we're going to see right now what they can do. At least they got Nitro off the board from the Liquid side early on, as dangerous as he is at the entry fragging position, but now they've still got Elige left, and Simple actually up here on Catbox taking a peek. He's got coverage from Elige as well, so he's got pretty much free reign on this mid corridor, and you can see how much control Liquid actually has. They can split towards the A-bomb site, they can split towards B, they got vent control as well, so a lot of map control being given up here from the compLexity side for Liquid, so there's a lot of options, and here comes a flashbang into checkers, and they're going to work their way towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, this is the big thing, too. A lot of faith in Roka with just a Famos and no smokes left. Now he's just got to drop a flash out. He's got a big job to do. Nades raining in. Things are smoked out. He hasn't been able to see anyone yet. And there comes Elige right through the smoke. He does get dropped, but no more pressure is being applied quite yet. Same spot, Simple falls, and Roka with a 3rd onto a Dren. Very weak hit from Liquid, no trades, and Hiko's left all alone. He gets cleaned out by Roka with 4 kills in the round as initially a solo defender. So what a stand from him.
And that's just Roka being Roka right there. I mean, he just goes beast mode in some of these rounds. We've seen it so many times before. Nicely done from him. Great control in that B-bomb site, and he just locks it down. And he only had a FAMAS to work with, too. For some reason, there you go. Now he's got an AK, so he did manage to upgrade at the end of that round. So nicely done from Roka, shutting things down at B. And we're going to see another eco round coming out from Liquid. This time they're not going to go for the full Tech 9 investment with armor. They're just going to buy up a couple of upgraded pistols, some P250s, and some Tech 9s. And see what they can find. But again, it looks like they're going to be favoring towards that A bomb site. A couple of smokes, well, one smoke and a couple of flashes to work with. Now they're going to actually go back and put a boost up in mid. So only Fraud is over here, and he actually has the op now. I think they just salvaged that the last round. So let's see if he can dust off the mouse and put in work.
That would be pretty cool to see. And here he is defending mid. He's going to miss that first shot, go for a repeat, but he's completely blind. No one pressuring him, trying to get up highway. Sanks is going to stop at him initially. He does eventually fall. Shinobi's still alive, doing some work. Even Death chiming in with a couple kills there. So an easy cleanup for compLexity. 5-0 now. And it's got pretty decent money built up behind this. Roka at 8,800 and Fraud at 9,400. So not sustaining too many losses in the past couple of rounds. That first gun round, they lived with 3, so they get to build up some money.
Get back to the op again. Liquid, simple. Gonna have that in his hands. AKs across the board for the rest of them. Fraud still with the op again. 7-2 for Sanks and 6-1 now for Shinobi. So again, they're doing a lot of work here. Adren and Nitro yet to get on the board, and this is where it gets a little bit scary for Liquid, because if Nitro isn't on point, hitting those entry frags, opening up these bomb sites, then you can kind of see how they fall apart a little bit. So once he starts going, it'll be really nice. But Hiko opening things up, takes the op out of the hands of Fraud. Shinobi, not really sure why he's going for that repeat on Squeaky, but he pays dearly with his life. And now you can see that bomb actually getting picked up and working its way over towards the the A bomb site. Hiko with another one though. Death down and out, and a 3K already on the round. Great pop flash though, catches Adren out at B. That bomb is working its way out through A main. So really nicely done from Hiko. You know, if Nitro's not on point, that's all right. Hiko will just step up and deck the team.
Oh, it's pretty sick. I mean, you don't know for Hiko, he comes from that really classic, like really old school thought process of lurking, where it's just super passive. So you don't see him open up too many rounds, but that time they push into him. So he's pretty much given those kills. And now Simple's over at the B bomb site to cut off any kind of fallback to save the weapons. And Roka, it looks like Roka and Sanks are just trying to get some guns out of the hands of the terrorists, but they're going to fall back pretty early on, and they should be safe. Simple's not too dedicated to hunting down these guns. So it is going to be the first round on the board from Liquid on the back of Hiko's 3 kills. That'll get him started here. Simple is going to find one. Sanks a little over-aggressive in the vents. He falls, but Roka's not going to do the same thing. He's just chilling.
Yeah, no reason to give away the gun at the end of the round. You can see compLexity. They've started to stack up a little bit of money, so the less that they have to spend, the better it's going to be in the long run. But again, they're going to go fully invested. This time, Fraud's not going to pick up the op. He had money to do so. He actually spends 9,000, so I believe he dropped one of his teammates too. Yeah, it looks like he dropped Sanks. He's only 2,000 invested, so they're going to throw over that rifle, and they're going to have a full buy once again. But this is going to be their last opportunity to continue to string rounds together. Roka's sitting on 8750, so they'll be able to drop pistols if they lose this round, but they won't be able to really get too much into the next round. And again, they're going for this real heavy stack in mid, and Fraud and Shinobi are shutting this down. They pick up one apiece. Nitro's finally going to be able to answer back and find a pick onto Fraud in middle. So now Shinobi re-aggressing in mid. He's going to be able to catch Nitro reloading. Nitro turns around and actually finds that kill. So back and forth so far, but favors compLexity with the man advantage.
Yeah, huge favor to compLexity. That's a good stop on that mid aggression. They do lose 2. So it's just down to a 2-on-3. Simple with the op. There's over a minute left for Liquid to work with. So Simple's going to have plenty of time to try and find an isolated kill with that AWP, but actually Def is going to ruin all of his plans. That's cruel. Just drop the smoke in there. And with no real map control anymore, as the Liquid players kind of convene together, they might be tempted to come through this smoke. Actually, going to boost right over.
I like this call.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Simple going to look over towards quad. Def's not going to peek though wisely. Just making sure that when they come out, they're going to at least have to dedicate themselves to the bomb site. No free kills given to Liquid. Sanks with a good angle at forklift as well. It's a crossfire, and still no one showing. Nades and Molotovs ring out. Liquid can't find anyone, and Sanks, he's going to choose his time to pounce, but he does eventually fall. There's Def, though. He makes his presence known. Molotov to delay the plant. Nitro's going to have to swing around the bomb site, and Def's waiting for it. He's holding the angle very, very well, but it's going to be Roka rotating over to Truck, who finds that last kill, so the economy gets reset for Liquid, but they had so many members survive, they can buy again.
Yeah, really nice 3v2 management there from compLexity's side, setting up the crossfires and not getting overly aggressive in any of those angles. We see it so many times in North American CS where they just get antsy in those situations and throw away 1v1s. This time they play it off of each other's peaks, and then Roka just comes in the backstab at the end, takes down the last player, so nicely done. compLexity up 6-1, definitely not what I expected to see at the beginning of this, and now they're going to get aggressive into A main. And there it is, Elige and simple going to shut down that early aggression from the compLexity side, swing it to a two-man advantage. But the rotation is already on. There's still two players from the CT side over here, and one of them is Fraud. He's going to be able to find one. Shinobi does fall, but there is another one in the site still. That's Fraud finds another one as well. Hiko's going to be there. Roka, touchdown nade and a headshot. Adren's going to be able to finish him off, and he salvages the AWP. So Liquid gets another round on the board, but it's kind of from the skin of their teeth.
Yeah, but that's okay because now look at the money from compLexity. Roka, oh, they are going to buy into this. So Roka actually, with $8,000, he drops over an M4. So they're going to have 3 rifles, 2 pistols. So still a tough spot for Liquid to be in. They've got to get out of this round without taking too much damage. But this is 2 rounds now. Both of the Team Liquid rounds come from compLexity being the aggressors. One time through door where Hiko gets the initial 2 kills there. And then one time through A main where the initial 2 aggressors just fall for free. So compLexity's got to be a little bit careful on how they decide to play out the rest of this half.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously that they're getting wrecked anytime that they go with that full aggression. I mean, it worked in the first couple of rounds because they were anti-ecos, but this time around it doesn't pay off nearly as well. They're going to have to rethink their strategery a little bit, but you can see they've forced up into this one. Shinobi's going to be on the FAMAS, Desert Eagle in the hands of Fraud, and a 5-7 for Sank, so not the most optimal buy. They don't have a lot of nades to slow down the incoming push that could be coming any second now, but Liquid, again, they don't really have a whole lot of utility to work with either. Just a flash on Simple, nothing on Hiko or Elige, but that's okay. Simple's just going to open up, takes down Shinobi, so early pick going the way of Liquid in this round.
Yeah, really nice find from Simple. That was the player who's supposed to be baiting for Def, so look at his position. Now he's isolated. His best chance is that Liquid comes out, doesn't check that, but they're geared up more for a hit towards A main. Decent setup here, but it is the 2 pistols. That's got to be a little bit scary, and they're giving Simple plenty of time with this AWP to look for something. No one's peeking quite yet. Molotov misses its mark, though. That's a little bit scary for Liquid. Now a third member, Roka's here as well as this hit comes in.
Yeah, and Fraud actually opening things up in that bomb site with the Desert Eagle headshot. They still haven't accounted for this player that's over here by Forklift, and Sanks is just going to be a nuisance. He finds 2 with the 5-7, and Roka bails one out as well. We're all down to a 2 versus 1. It's just Adren left, and Sanks puts in work with the pistol, salvages the AK at the end of the round, and it looks like they're not actually favoring that op setup here on the compLexity side, and I gotta say, I can't blame them.
That's a tough round for Liquid to lose there against those 2 pistols in that A bomb site. So a very slow hit. Do a little bit of a weak job of trading out some of these kills. That Forklift player just had to get cleaned out. It never really happened. So now Liquid is forced back onto an eco. Deagle on Simple, some upgraded pistols on the rest of them, but no investment of armor. Their money is so low. This might even be a double save. This is a really tough spot. compLexity having a really strong opening to this match right now. Liquid looking a little lackluster to open things up.
Yeah, definitely not what we expected to see, especially with the strong performances that we've seen. What was it at the Pro League land when Liquid played against, I think it was Fnatic, and Nitro just had an absolute monstrous half on the terrorist side of Cash, and this time around he's 3-8 against arguably a relatively new roster as far as compLexity is concerned. So very different Liquid than we're used to seeing right here. And if they want to solidify themselves as one of the top teams or the top team in North America, this isn't the start.
Yeah, it seems like, oh, nice kill from Hiko. Elige's going to wrap around. So all of a sudden, this is looking pretty good. Sanks is going to get a kill onto Adren, but climbing into the site. Elige gets another one. Down to a 2-on-2. They're at least going to get the bomb plant, but the weaponry is all in the favor of compLexity. And Shinobi's wasting no time on this retake. And that's going to give him a 1-on-1 against Hiko, but finally, second player gets here. That's Nitro. Shinobi swings out very wide. Doesn't fall, luckily. And Molly's going to force him out of position. Down to a 1-on-1. Nitro's still alive at A main. And Shinobi's just going to stick this defuse, and Nitro, he's got a tough decision to make. Is he going to get there in time? He is! No, he's not!
Oh,
He's
wow!
not. The defuse comes in right at the last second. A little unfortunate, but another nice round from Liquid. They've just got to start putting him out in the win.
Well, that was about as close as it could possibly be right there. Nitro just a little bit too hesitant, obviously didn't want to press in and give anything up, but He gave up the most important part, and that was the round. So unfortunate for Team Liquid. They come up just a little bit short. That bomb plant and all those kills, though, doesn't do much to help out the compLexity side. They're still just one loss away from being on at least a one-round save, possibly a double save as well. You see how low they are in money. So, again, they don't have a lot of utility to work with. So really, really tough spot for them to be in. But they're still putting those wins on the board.
Here's the thing, though. The scoreline looks pretty bad right now at 8-2, but this can close very quickly. The money, no one on compLexity is over $150, so a loss here would essentially turn this into a double save for compLexity. So Liquid, they can find ways back into this match very, very quickly, but they've got to start winning these out.
Yeah, they have to. I mean, it's starting to snowball a little bit on them, and you can see, look at this forward position that's up on top of heaven right now from Shinobi. They've got that B main smoked off. So just in case they decided to push up and show some toes or anything like that, I mean, he would have just absolutely annihilated one or two players coming around that corner. But lucky for him and for the Liquid side, nobody aggresses there. And they actually reverse boost back up through vents just to clear out mid a little bit more. So nicely done from them. But this time it's going to be a hit towards the B-bomb site. And again, it's going to be Roka to try to put in work. And let's see what he's got, because Simple opens up, takes Fraud down, and Elise just annihilates Roka. Adren goes in on Shinobi, and this is a great looking round for Liquid.
Yeah, they absolutely. I mean, this is beautiful. There's going to be two guns saved for him, but compLexity got a bad read on that. Shinobi rotated at exactly the wrong moment, and the hit comes in, and he got locked out of the bomb site. He was forced through a smoke, but by then his teammates had already fallen, so Roka can't pull off the heroics there, but Def and Sank's going to save these rifles. So next round they'll have a little bit to work with, especially because Liquid doesn't have any economy built up to really chase these down. I mean, they haven't established their money whatsoever in this match, so this is a great opportunity for them. Going to give them a chance. Even if they lose the next round with 5 members surviving, they'll still be able to buy if that happens. But a nice execute onto that B bomb site from Liquid, and actually we see Simple drop out, so there will more than likely be a pause into the next round.
Well, that's a bummer. Nothing like winning a round and losing a gun for reasons out of your own control, so this will give them at least a little bit of time to discuss some of the things, you know, well, not necessarily a free pause, but, you know, both sides are going to be able to talk about things a little bit here. But if you're on Liquid's side, you're down into the 12th round, 8-3. What are you discussing right now? What is your IGL talking about? Because obviously they have, you know, James for the T-side coach, Adren is their IGL. Like, what are they discussing right now in order to get themselves back in this matchup? Because they are down by 5 rounds, and that is a pretty big hill to climb once they get on the CT side.
If I'm on Liquid and if I'm the in-game leader of the coach, I'm telling them to play a little bit more loose. They seem very much more passive than we're used to seeing them. With some of these takes, a lot of these rounds are coming down to just kind of being very passive until about 45 seconds left. It seems like they're giving a lot of space for Simple to do what he wants. Probably still, I mean, when you have a player like that come in who's so dominant individually, you want to allow him to kind of do his own thing. You want to kind of see for the future how you're going to be able to fit him into your tactics and your strategies and your game plans. But they're doing that so much that it seems like it's kind of slowing everyone down a little bit. So I'm just telling them, don't worry about the score, play a little bit more loose, kind of do your own thing.
Yeah, and it's exactly like you said. Like, I'm used to seeing Elise and Nitro just getting in the face of the opposing team round in and round out, especially on the T side, just pushing in and just cracking these bomb sites open. And you're not seeing any of that right now. That's a much slower paced Liquid than what we're used to seeing. And it doesn't seem like it's working all that well for them. You know, well, like you said earlier, 2 of the rounds that they actually won out of the 3 so far happened off of aggression from compLexity. Since they stopped doing that, they've been relatively successful. You can see they won the last 2 out of the 3 rounds in a row. This last round goes off of a miscommunication or a little bit of a untimely rotation by Shinobi off of that B bomb site and leaves Roka kind of hung out to dry. But, you know, it's these small mistakes that are costing compLexity rounds, whereas Liquid not getting in the face of compLexity, not getting their strong entry fraggers out there and giving them the opportunities to get these picks has cost them, you know, 5 gun rounds. Or 3 gun rounds and 2 ecos.
Still a buy-up from compLexity in this round. With those 2 rifles saved, you can see they have pistols and armor going. That's some nice spam from Adren, doing some damage to Fraud, down to 62 HP. This time, it's looking like it's going to be a little bit more decisive from Team Liquid as they have all 5 members on the B side of the map. They give up any kind of map control, any kind of presence over towards A to watch for pushes, so they're just going to walk right in. Nitro is going to be leading the way. Sanks inside the bomb site, 1 member over towards Headshot. Nitro spots it out. That's a free kill on a Sanks. The Molotov's right out. Roka swings into the smoke. Elish going to find him. There's that duo, and he even gets Fraud as well. So an easy take in the B bomb site for Team Liquid this time.
Yeah, really nicely done from Liquid. Just opening it up, utilizing their smokes properly, and with all the space that compLexity gave him with those pistols, they were able to just walk right in. Shinobi does get a parting gift onto simple, takes him down, gets a rifle for his troubles, so nice little find there. And if they're able to hold on to these rifles into the next round, now granted it's going to be a save from the remaining players of compLexity, but they might be able to do some damage. Now granted, this past round they really didn't, and they had 2 rifles, but this time around they might be able to actually revamp their strategy and do a little bit of damage, so we'll see, but at least a 4th round on the board now from the Liquid side. And Shinobi actually gets spotted out by Nitro and actually doesn't get to hang on to that. Def, though, parting gift, 2 frags. Just a little bit of damage done by him, so gonna try to keep that money low.
Yeah, I mean, the T side, it's hard to keep that money low. Those are 2 very nice frags at the end. Also, you get to keep that M4 into this round, so a chance to do a little bit more damage. This time, though, I don't think there's going to be too much investment for the remaining 4 players. They do upgrade some pistols. Fraud has a smoke to work with as well. That's something we haven't really seen, a map like Cash. I mean, the economy for compLexity, even though they had a pretty good streak to start things out, it's been held in check by Team Liquid, even in losing efforts. So no op yet for Fraud, no double op setup, which is very, very popular on Cash. And right now, they boost Def up onto the boxes. He's got the only M4. This could be a little bit scary for Team Liquid, as once again, much like the last round, they just are just going to decisively hit into this A bomb site.
Yeah, they didn't probe for any information on any other avenues of the map, and if Def, I mean, he could do some serious damage. They're giving it away. Def is just going to let him run on by. He's going to take the first one. That's going to be a leash down. Shinobi over there is going to find one. Liquid's simple swings out. Hiko's going to find one as well, so they at least trade it back, but you know, kind of costly there at the beginning, and now it's going to be a Drin. He actually gets spotted in mid, so his position by Catbox has been compromised, but with no armor, these CTs just aim punch is going to be too much for him to contend with, and now Simple, he's actually going to get caught out here, but he swings, hits the snapshot, takes Roka down. 5 rounds now for Liquid, and they've gotten themselves pretty well back into this one.
This is just what I was talking about. They win that 1 round and a double save comes out. So all of a sudden 8-5, more manageable, especially if they can add 1 or 2. Obviously they'd like to have 2, but if they get up towards 6, that's going to be pretty nice for them. Still no op out. Simple the only one with it. He's going to take it again towards the boost, and he's going to be brought up. There is a mid presence, but that's a nice shot onto Shinobi. Caught out in the open. Simple drops him very, very easily. Fraud exchanges for the M4. But still, heavy mid defense for compLexity, but Liquid, as they've just, this is kind of the adjustment they might have made when they had some time to talk things over, very decisively going towards bomb sites instead of staying spread out.
Yeah, and Hiko actually throwing that spam through the door is going to mask some of the footsteps, and they've actually gotten out right behind Red Box. They catch Fraud out, swinging onto the site. Now Def, he's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's got terrorists everywhere. Nitro is going to finally find him out. Simple again. Roka down and out. 1 more to deal with down here on Catwalk, and it's going to be Simple to execute. 3 kills on the round for him. Brings his kill total up to 11 and 10, and he joins the top fraggers with Elish and Hiko.
Man, last round of the half, and compLexity is just going to have to buy up whatever they can. Armor and pistols. Good comeback here. Liquid closing this half out with 4 straight so far. See if they can make it a 5th, and they have all the advantage in the world to do so. 5 Molotovs, 5 smokes. They have an AWP, and they're going against 4 pistols. This time, they are spreading out just a little bit. Simple goes for a mid-pick low, not boosted up this time. Can't find anything as he does get smoked off. And now they're just going to wait.
This is a really nice recovery from Liquid.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, that's the adjustment. You can see these past 3 rounds has just been pick a site and let's just hit it. Go for trades as you enter in. Simple's been putting in some work on that A hit where Elish and Nitro got taken out early, but other than that, I mean, they've gone back to this spread out strategy that hasn't worked for Liquid too well. So they got to be careful they don't get picked off, especially against just pistols where they have, you know, such a huge advantage.
Again, it's going to be Def playing this forward position underneath the boost, but it's Simple to open up, takes Fraud down. That's the mid pick. Now he's going to get spotted out. Def is going to be able to find him. Nice trigger control, trigger discipline from him. Takes the op out of Simple's hand, so it's a 1-for-1 trade to open up the round, but now he's got more players to contend with as they are pressing up on his position, just trying to filter him out, but he's just going to hug that wall and not give an inch away. But it looks like they're going to be fanning back out and going towards that A-bomb site. There's only one player to contend with over there, and that is actually going to be Sanks. But there you go. Def laying down the damage, finds the dink, finds the bomb carrier, takes down Adren. Roka's going to find the one dig on a Nitro, and this is starting to look real good for compLexity.
Yeah, this is once again just Liquid extremely spread out across the map. A couple of those, I mean, Def has a great effort in this round, but you know, Nitro dying, no chance of a trade. He was just trying to probe all alone into that B bomb site. Now they have to take A. Sanks trying to stay alive as long as possible. Can't get anything done. Alicia's going to have to protect Hiko as this plant goes down, but 2 rifles have been salvaged by the compLexity side, and they're swinging out wide. This is going to be a very fast retake. One at forklift. Hiko's going to lose that battle all down to Alicia. He's stuck in quad. They know exactly where he is, but he's isolated them into 2 separate one-on-ones, and he's going to win it out in the end. A couple nice headshots there for Alicia. Nicely played. That's going to end the half with 5 straight for Team Liquid as they catch back up. That half's going to go in the favor of compLexity, 8-7.
Really nicely played from Alicia there. And it's like you said, isolating those 1v1s in the long run, able to find both of those kills, not getting double teamed in any avenue, so no trade could be attempted from the compLexity side, and he actually wins it out. So really nice recovery from Liquid, bringing that one back. They were down 8-3 at one point. They bring it back to 8-7, so really, really nice stuff from them. And now we get a chance to see them on the CT side, but you know, this isn't the dominating performance that we kind of expected to see out of them, being that Cache is like their home map.
Yeah, yeah, I think a lot of it just has to do, like I said, with Simple. It seemed like, especially early in that half, they gave him a lot of room to do whatever he wanted, and they gave him plenty of time to do it, and they kind of did it to sacrifice what we normally see out of Liquid on this map. So I'm more interested to see the CT side with the new player coming in. Are they going to be switching up any spots on a map that they feel very comfortable on? Are they going to move anyone around differently than what we saw them before Simple joined? Also, you got to say compLexity, too, on that CT side kind of came out swinging. Definitely surprised me in going out to that huge lead. So what are they going to have for the Terra side? Right off the bat, Fraud and Shinobi both picking up utility. No armor. They have the Glocks. Fraud has a P250, but Smoke Flash Nade for Shinobi as well.
And actually, Nitro's going to get aggressive here. Oh, he jump peeked. Hey, man, I'm not sure. There's the pop flash. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Oh, no, Shinobi tried to get away and he jumped on his teammate's head. Oh, Nitro and Simple just locking it down, but Sanks comes back in with 2 of his own. Now they got to deal with Fraud, who finds the headshot on Adren, and we're back on a 2v2.
Yeah, such a good start into this round for Liquid, and now it's a tough spot. Now they're in a retake. Hiko does have a Molotov, and he's going to use that, but it misses its mark. It lands in the front of the bomb site directly behind that first box. Maybe that's exactly how I want it, but they know Fraud's at forklift. They've tried to clear him out of position. Crucial spot for Fraud to hold. Still alive, and now he's going to fall back towards A main. Nice movement, stays alive, but Sanks is going to be alone over in quad, and Fraud is eventually going to fall. All on Sanks. Can he do what Alicia did and win a 1-on-2 from this position? He gets that first kill, and he gets the second one. He responds in kind. Sanks with a 1-on-2 win of the pistol. 9-7 now for compLexity.
Again, pretty much the same exact scenario that had happened with Alicia to finish out the last round of the first half. And it's going to be Sanks this time. He's 17-10, and most of those kills in the first half came off the back of his pistol work. He had that 3K on that force-up with the 5.7 by forklift, and this time he gets 2 kills with the Glock. So really, really nicely done from Sanks in a round that I didn't think was going to be winnable. I mean, it was essentially a 5-on-2 at one point.
Yeah, that's a round that Liquid just cannot lose those. They got beat up there just a little bit. It turned around so quick as well with the amount of success that Nitro was having. A little bit unfortunate. Some Molotovs come in towards this A bomb site. Oh, Roka and Shinobi now entering into the bomb site. There's still one member in quad that hasn't been cleared out. That's Nitro, but burning in the fire. He's forced out of his position. He doesn't even land any shots on a Shinobi.
Yeah, Shinobi's just having a field day with this MAC-10 right now. Finally, it's going to be Alicia to shut him up for a second, at least. 3 kills on the round for him, so he puts money in the bag. Nicely done from him, but there's still 2 more MAC-10s to contend with, and they know exactly where Alicia is. He's out by sandbags in mid. Going to take this opportunity to fall back and see what he can do. He shoots out the vent to at least try to distract that he's going over in that direction, so he might be a little bit sneaky-beaky-like here. You can see how hard they're chasing on the terrorist side. He gets around the corner, so nice position from him. Another 1 deke, Fraud down. Got one more to deal with, but Sanks is going to annihilate him. Takes him down 10-7 now in favor of compLexity.
Yeah, that's a big investment into the second round that didn't really yield too many results. So that's going to hinder their ability to have an AWP, which they wanted the whole terrorist half. They're not going to have it, at least initially, on the defense. So coming next round in that first gun round, they're going to have to start things out quick. They can't bleed too many rounds away early on. Shinobi that round with 3 MAC-10 kills. Also, I mean, he just built up a massive bank. He does spend it all on AK this time, but once again, compLexity is just going to go straight toward this A bomb site. But look at the stack. Is this all 5 members here? It is.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I mean, they're putting all their eggs in one basket. They've upgraded 3 pistols. 2 of them still on USPs. That's going to be Nitro and Adren, but the rest of them, actually, no, that's a P2000 in the hands of a Liege, but P250 and a 5.7, see if they can do work. But here comes the push, and this is really scary for compLexity. But there's the peak, simple and a Liege. Nitro and Adren all fall. Last man standing, Roka just blows it up in that bomb site, finds 3 kills.
The pink, huh?
And the pink.
Why not? Yeah, I mean, that's good call on the stack from Team Liquid. I mean, more's got to come from that when you have that kind of a gamble with all 5 members there. Either way, now it's into the first gun round, but you can see what that second round buy did to Liquid. They have no kits. They have smokes on Hiko and simple, but nothing at all behind that. So their utility is going to run really thin. If compLexity plays this round a little bit slow, they're going to be going against a very weak utility later on into the round.
And there's the early spot. That's really dangerous. That smoke hadn't bloomed fully yet, and Adren's going to capitalize on that and drops a lot of damage out, but Shinobi is going to answer back, finds the kill onto Nitro. They've kind of halted the push right now just for a second, but they're going to nade out. Adren goes down to 71, and they've rotated all of the CT forces over here, so a quick fallback from compLexity and a boost over mid could yield them a lot more map control and possibly the round. You can see Hiko starting to cheat back over here towards this B bomb site, but still compLexity stalwart over here in A, looking to try to crack into this bomb site, and they've got the means to do it, as now they've left only Adren in A. This is terrifying now for Liquid.
Yeah,
what a scary read.
Yeah, but compLexity used a lot of their utility on that initial execute, and now they only have this one smoke from Roka, which is going to go out, and they have some flashbangs to work with as well, but Adren, there's an opportunity here. Oh, he's full blind. This is not good. Now he's going to swing out late, can't get that kill. Def's going to grab it. A bomb site is open, and it's going to be all on Simple and Elise to do something. Simple grabs the first kill. Spotted one over towards Squad, but they don't protect the planner. Fraud falls all of a sudden down to a 3-on-3. Plenty of time. Simple with a third. The heroics are real, and he's even going to get the dink onto Simple, or I mean onto Sanks as well, excuse me. And now it's Hiko, the guy you want clutching this round. He's going to find Sanks in the open. That's an easy kill. One more. Def going for this one-on-one. He does pick up the bomb. Hiko's got some time to work with. 10 seconds on the clock for Def, though.
Yeah, he's got to get in there and try to put that bomb down. Now Hiko, he's playing this one right, and he gets the clutch, 1v2. And it comes off the back of Simple putting in work this round. He does tremendous amounts of damage, gets 3 kills. I can't believe that they let him get up there and kill the bomb planner.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was...
he gets a kill and a dink after that's all said and done. That's just poor plant coverage from compLexity, and Simple just capitalizing and punishing it.
Yeah, that was a really bad mistake from compLexity with 2 members in quad as well. I mean, one of them was reloading, but someone's got to be peeking that to protect the planner, especially when you know he's planning wide like that. So Simple gets away with one. But, I mean, overall, a good round. He had to kind of do some kind of play like that. I mean, that was basically a 1-on-4, 1-on-5 in that bomb site that he gets 3 kills from. So really nicely done from him. Saves the day, despite Hiko, you know, winning that 1-on-2 clutch. It's Simple who brings that even into a winnable spot for him.
Yeah, really, really nicely done from Simple. But back to the gun round, and you can see how losing all those members in the long run, coming down to that 1v1, has affected the economy here from Liquid's side. They've got very little utility. Only Elysian and Adren have any needs to work with, and they've got 2 FAMASs on hand as well. And you know, it's kind of interesting to see they've actually gone for the head armor as opposed to going for some more utility, a couple of flashes or something like that. What do you think of that kind of a call? Because you know they're going up against AKs, so why even bother with head armor most of the time on the CT side, especially when they got the bomb plant? You know they're coming in with another buy, especially after winning the pistol round.
I don't mind it. I mean, you're going to be going against pistols as well at some point, so Yeah, I mean, you can do it either way. There's always that big debate on the theory behind it, but it doesn't matter either way. Nitro's got sick positioning here. I mean, this is really, really dirty. He has all the intel. He knows they're not pushing up on this B bomb site. Even if they do, he can be patient. And this is basically could yield him 2 free kills. He gets 1. Roka's not paying attention, but he does it just in time. Recovers nicely. A lot of damage dealt to Roka, but Nitro's got to feel like he should have gotten a second kill there. Simple. I mean, the defense is still split 2 and 2 at each bomb site. Elige is going to finally start cheating over towards mid. Simple's keeping an eye on it, but this is going to be an A execute, and Sanks. What a sick opening from him. He gets that kill, and Simple, he can't handle the metal of that forklift. There's a lot of damage, but no kills.
Elige going to find Roka through the smoke, so it's at least a manageable 3v2. 2 players are relatively low. That shot from Sanks was dirty. This time around, it's going to be Elige to lead the push on in. Adrin is going to be in tow as well, and Elige very close up, finds the kill onto Fraud. Coming around the corner, but Sanks playing this goofy off angle is going to be able to find him and Shinobi over by Quad. Very tough spot for Adrin to be in, and he actually takes some fall damage jumping there off the balcony. Gets the dink onto Shinobi, but unfortunately for him, it's through the corner of the crate and does 5 damage. So Adrin goes down. 12 rounds now for compLexity, and that resets the money for Liquid. So they're going to be on a save, looking at 13-8, possibly a double save. They are very low on money.
I'm not even sure if they can afford to double save. So they've either got to have some heroics in this round to kind of come back in the eco. And you can see they are actually, I mean, they're just going to buy up in this. So save be damned. Maybe try to reset the economy of compLexity, but enough members, I mean, they have enough money built up to they have a buy next round no matter what happens here. And that's a bad start. Simple going for the deagle. Roka's just going to drop him very swiftly.
And now you see they're actually just going to be pressing on in towards the B-bomb site. Already Checkers control, and Elige getting a little too antsy there in the pit. He's going to peek out, and Roka is going to plant him. So already 2 kills on the round for Roka. They've got 1 more to contend with in the back of the site. That's going to be Hiku, who finds 1. Fraud is going to answer back, and Sanks as well. Going to find 1 more before all is said and done. A little bit of damage at least being done here from the CT side of Liquid, dropping 2 rifles out of their hands, but Shinobi with good positioning in pit's going to find Adren as that smoke fades, and that's going to be another round on the board here for compLexity. So we'll see what they do, but look at this money on Liquid's side. They can't buy. I mean, pistol armor, a couple of nades maybe, but with the way that their rifle rounds have looked, they probably want to get rifles.
Yeah, that's why I'm really kind of curious as to why they decided to buy in the last round. Why did they decided to force up? It had to have been thinking maybe the economy of compLexity was lower than it was.
Yeah, they're doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, and now it's kind of a spot where they have to save. compLexity is going to get up towards 14 more than likely, and then it's even going to be a half buy. So why not just save last round? So you have a decent buy on the Liquid side when compLexity is only at 13. But either way, this is the situation we're in. Liquid try to do anything they can to give themselves an advantage. They're kind of roaming the map as a group. A lot of mid control, 3 to 4 members there. Now they've rotated over towards the A bomb site. They're going to send Hiko back towards B just to scout. And the remainder of them are going to stay towards mid and A. But Adren all alone in mid. He gets picked off quickly by Sanks. Full mid control for compLexity now. They can basically choose what to do whatever they want on this map.
Yeah, Adren was trying to move up and take cover behind those smokes, but now they're just going to get full highway control. They've got 1 more over here, but Roka and Shinobi putting in work this round. Roka finishes things off. 2 for him, 2 for Shinobi, and 1 for Sanks. And again, Sanks, he's 25 and 11 right now. Roka's sitting at 20 and 11. Shinobi at 20 and 15. So they're putting in work. Fraud's only got 10 kills, but it doesn't matter because those 3 players on his team are doing so much work right now. Even Def at only 13 and 15, but I mean, they're doing work as far as Sanks, Roka, and Shinobi are concerned, and they're controlling this matchup right now. compLexity, they're looking very good on cash right now. A little scary for Liquid.
Very scary for Liquid. I mean, both teams, they've slowed this down, so compLexity with a huge advantage here. I mean, they're just spreading out into a default. They're going to let these smokes really run their course on the Liquid side. So later on in the round with their 5 Molotovs, they still have all 5 smokes. They're going to be able to abuse either one of the bomb sites. And actually, look at Liquid. 3rd member over here at the A bomb site feeling very, very exposed there. Nitro, Simple, and Adren all playing defense at the A site. No one in mid. It's just going to be... Actually, I don't even... Nice pop flash from Adren. They're going to push forward, try and get some information. They have dinked Sanks, so that's a good find early on. They pushed out any presence in A main, but still a minute on the clock for compLexity to figure out what they want to do from here. But with that pressure that they just applied, Simple is going to be able to fall back, and looks like he's going to repop flash for Nitro into A main.
Yeah, but nothing's home. They're rotating that bomb back around, and look at this. They're just waltzing right on out mid. They haven't even thrown any smokes or flashes or anything like that, so they've gotten mid control completely for free. And now they're going to be able to swing here, and this is where it gets a little bit scary. Nice pop flash, though, Simple. Coming around the corner is going to take down Roka, and that's a big frag. Gets refragged by Def, so the trade's favoring the terrorist side right now, but they've got two players that are so incredibly low, but that doesn't even matter. Adren goes down. Def finds the kill. Hico's compromised his position, but he's at least been able to fall back. He's going to find a pick onto at least one player, but Fraud is there for the trade. In these trade games, compLexity is winning them round in and round out.
Yeah, and Def, 24 HP, and he's gotten 2 kills out of it. Alish is going to have to push the smoke, grabs Fraud. Sanks is low, but Molotov on the bomb to delay anything. Alish can't even push forward in this, so Sanks buying time for his teammate. Does decide to peek in the end. It's pretty much equal on HP, but that bomb is like a second teammate. Alish is going to have a very nice shot. Def not peeking whatsoever. Balls of steel. There's the peek, and he's going to grab it. Alish falls. That's going to be 15 for compLexity. Looks like they're just going to walk away with this map.
Huge round from Def. You know, I was just talking about how he wasn't up there on frags with the rest of his team, and then he comes in with the big 4K and solidifies the 1v1 clutch. And it's like you said, he had like 20 HP and ended up getting 3 out of the 4 kills that he had that round with 20-some HP. So really impressive stuff from Def. Nice positional awareness at the end of that round. And compLexity going to take this to match point right now. Let's see what they've got going into this one. Liquid are reeling. They've got such a limited buy. Simple on a Mag 7. CZ's for Adren and Nitro. FAMAS's for the remaining 2. So really tough spot for Liquid to be in, and they just haven't been able to kickstart anything throughout this half. And they've gotten 1 round. Ouch.
Should mention an adjustment on the defense from what we normally see out of Liquid is Adren playing much, much more dedicated in this A bomb site throughout this half on the defense.
Hasn't really been working out for Liquid, though, has it?
Hasn't been really working out for Adren either. He's having a rough match here to start out with, but
he is.
Still compLexity, very slow-paced once again. Shotgun, the Mag 7 on Simple, if that can find anything. He's in the vents right now. But no commit anywhere from compLexity. They're starting to wheel 4 members over towards the B bomb site. Just going to be one guy, Sanks, in mid, lurking, trying to cut off some rotations. And he might have an easy job of it. Just hiding in the corner at the moment. It's once again just Hiko with the FAMAS. Not even any flashes to work with.
Yeah, Simple comes barreling out through the vent. He goes down immediately. It's going to be all on Hiko in the back of the site. He goes down to Fraud. And this is just a slaughter. Def is going to chime in once again. Alicia's down and out. Nitro has picked up the Mag 7. At least finds one onto Shinobi. But he's getting flanked from vents. Sanks is coming around from behind him. I think he's privy to this. He's going to go for a little bit of jump Mag 7 skill shots, but he's not going to be able to find anything because Sanks isn't giving his position away. There's no reason to. They've got 3 players over here in sight. Adren's looking for at least one, but he's going to be caught the wrong way. And there you go. 16-8 is going to be your final for match number 1 of the night. And compLexity, they looked great.
Yeah, they did. And Liquid came out a little bit lackluster. That start to this match was it's tough to come back from that, really. They did make a comeback at least in the first half, but they didn't have enough to play with going into the second. So I mean, nicely done from compLexity. And you know, you mentioned Def had some good impact. Roka had a couple nice rounds. Liquid on the other hand, they had some players step up. Simple had some nice impact in the mid rounds on some retakes. Hiko as well had a clutch round, but I mean, outside of just some individual rounds throughout this match, Liquid didn't really put together a great game whatsoever.
Yeah, and it was pretty much a struggle the entire time for the Liquid side. I mean, I hate to keep harping on the guy, but Adren, just really, really rough match from him. I think he only got 5, maybe 6 kills the entirety of that match, and it's really difficult to win when you've got a player that's just not performing pretty much at all.
Yeah, I think as well, they gave a lot. I mentioned it a couple of times, especially in the first half, is they gave a lot of they gave Simple pretty much plenty of time. I mean, their game plan just seemed to be let Simple do his thing, see what's going to happen from it. And it didn't work out very well. So I think Dust 2, they're going to play a little bit more how we're used to seeing them, a little bit more go back to what they're good at and just find ways to maybe let Simple do his own thing while the four of them kind of work the strategies they know from the past. So hopefully Dust 2 goes a little bit better for him. That'll be a good chance as well. If Simple's going to be opping as much as he did on the T side of Cash, then plenty of opportunities on Dust 2 for him to find some picks for his team. But either way, nice match put together by compLexity. That should be said. Shinobi actually, one of the players from Denial, that team won Premier and then broke up, but Shinobi was in that team. He has two teammates who went to TSM, so one of the young guns at least showing a good debut here in Pro League.
Yeah, again, I mean, a quick stat rundown. I'm actually looking at compLexity's stats for that matchup. It ended up with Sanks at 105.9 ADR. So that's average damage per round for those who aren't privy to that statistic. And that is big. That is massive. I mean, what was it, 2 or 3 seasons ago where we saw Anger kind of have one of his best seasons in the invite division, and he was holding somewhere around that for a predominant part of the season. So if Sanks can continue to do that, then compLexity is going to be a scary team. Roka was up there at 92.7. Shinobi was at 80, 86 for Def, 65.5 for Fraud. But Sanks, what a performance from him. 25 and 12.
Yeah, good stuff. So on that note, the next map is probably going to be starting in about 10 to 15 minutes. So we're going to take a quick break. That's going to be, you said it was Dust 2, I believe, as well?
Yep.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back when they're joining the server and they're getting ready to go on Dust 2. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to have just a rematch, basically, of these two teams.